So this is how I'm living my life, laying on a bedroom floor. I've got pulses in excess of 20 milliwatts per square meter all day from up to 6 different locations. They penetrate bezel block walls very easily. They penetrate anything if you have the amp to back up the frequency. You can it's a microwave. You can get through anything. So um, one thing that I notice is I've got an app on my computer called Nitro, and because it's a leisure computer, it's a gaming laptop. I can intricately adjust my settings, and one of the things that I do every single time I get on my computer is I change the screen brightness to um, long blue light reduction, which makes the screen yellow, and that transmutes the LED light so that it's not putting out a photo image um, to be received and sent back. And the reason why I'm very stern about my claim is there's a thing that happens every single um, hour, but it's at random times. It's like somebody jumps on my laptop and turns it off. And as soon as that happens, I start experiencing burning microwave torture like I am right now. But it can be to the point where it's like hot steam, like if you held your hand over a boiling kettle, that's how bad it is. And I've got about a kilo of wax under this waxed canvas. It's getting through that, but without it, I don't even know if I'd be alive at this rate. So I'm moving my mattress around, jumping to the other side of the mattress. I can go outside, but what's the point? I just get harassed passive aggressively through loud, unnecessary um, talk and slander from neighbours. So they got me in this position, and I use this to detect the beams. So I've got it's got a underneath the casing, it's got a radar aperture at the front. So anywhere that you point this from the front, it'll receive the beam from that direction, and it's got about a 30-degree angle to receive that in. So it's very accurate. You find beams with it. So I'm able to find the beams. The beams are coming actually through the roof. So some people, real flat earthers, whatever, I don't buy into the whole thing. But yeah, satellites are real. They're getting you with satellites. They're getting you through any means they can, through your own devices, through your neighbours. Now the neighbours, they've doubled the amount of neighbours assaulting me with signals. It's going, I'm getting up to 20 milliwatts in my driveway from 4 different locations at once. The main ones that are hitting me with precise high voltage beams is from the northwest corner and the northeast corner. Now I found the houses. There's one with a 2-story carport. There's got to be a device under there. There's a house with a 2-story granny flat and a window facing head on my house. So it can just get over there. And then I'm getting signals occasionally in excess of 10 milliwatts per square meter from the L22 LED smart lights. I'm getting dirty electricity blasting me from the solar panel on the roof. So they're loading my devices, using them as a catalyst to emit freaky bad radiation. So on the plus side, I'm not having weird dreams anymore. I'm just getting painful burns. But they made it clear that this is it, and they want to torture me to death. So why I'd say they don't want you to move. They want you to stay put. They want they literally want to torture you to death. So I've had my car destroyed, sabotaged. They even I was getting it going, and they loosened all the belts and dumped the radiator. They've dumped the radiator twice now. I think about it, hoping that I go out on a bit of a leisure drive out bush and I burn up out bush, but I got onto it too quickly. The same day that this happened, that the one that I'm talking about, they loosened the fan belts. I went out there and my cap was off my radiator and steam was blowing out the bonnet. I was driving out towards the bush track, and a pearly white ute filled with Filipino freemasons were coming in the opposite direction. Now, why do I know they're freemasons? That's because I look at their Facebook page. They've all been indoctrinated in the last 2 years. So yeah, they do this to level up. It's Freemasonry. If you want to take down the deep state, you have to start with their soldiers, because it's not a physical war, but they're bringing it to a physical war. They just they cheap out of the consequences of contact warfare, but they obviously don't want you to leave, because they come in your house and they destroy everything. Like a binder I've got to keep my paperwork in, they came in with a mobile soldering iron and melted the zip, so now it opens every time I try to close it. Shit like that. You know, every single garment in my wardrobe has had its stitching slashed. My shoes have all had their stitching slashed. I've had my shoes melted with acetone so the foam shrinks. Goes on and on and on and on and on. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of damage over the years. So they've destroyed my car that many times, is what I was getting onto. They just want to keep me in one place, and then they're destroying my push bike, and they've destroyed that so many times. They come up and they grab the gear cable and they rip it out, so your gears don't work now. So, you know, cheapest you can change that is $100 and 2 hours of labour to get all that tuned in again. So now there's literally only 2 places where I can leave my bike locked and not have it damaged. No, there's only one, and that is the corner of Coles near the bottle shop, where there is so much surveillance and security that the only way that anyone would be there is if they're leaving Coles. So nobody's going to go up and do that. It'd be too easy to pick. And that just sort of leads me to think, you know, like, they're going against the laws of war, the ethics of war. Okay, you don't leave your enemy without an escape route unless you intend on killing him. But they're not fucking killing me. They're doing a weird perturbating love-hate thing, where they're actually feeding off of the energy. So I'll get a job just in time for me to basically not fuck off in the sticks and be homeless. That job will wind me up and then bring me back down. But right now it's too late. Like, they've taken too much. I can't even be in comfort underneath the extremely insulated EMF sheets, which I can't, to block EMF with. And this is this all goes down to Freemasonry. And why do I say that? Well, because I know too much. And right now I've got nothing to lose. So let me spit it out, okay? So just about all of the people in set towns, they're straight into the lodges when they get off the plane. They sign up straight away. They get their assignments. And they've got links to organ and blood trafficking overseas. So they're straight in. They need these people in the country. Australia was set to be a Illuminati fortress by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers hundreds of years ago. So they basically want this place to turn into hell. I don't think they want anybody here that is not part of their club. They want to replace all the labour force, all the administration with AI and automated systems. They want their human trafficking ring to feed their atrocious desires, and they don't want anyone else. And that's obvious. Have a look at the landscape. Have a look at New South Wales, where they've the Parks and Wildlife has all but nearly banned hunters from recreational hunters from going and culling populations. Goats are now fighting with kangaroos over land and food. Did you know that? So there's not even tufts of grass. Now the goats are in the trees. Pretty soon the goats will starve to death. All of the foliage and everything will have been completely wiped out. And this is how they want it. They are dumping so much barium, aluminium sulfide, strontium. But the plants have every single disease and pest that is in the book because their immune system is so low. And now, why are they doing this? Why would they destroy the whole world? They're doing it because they're rage quitting, because they know that the whole world is working up. And you know that you've given me no choice but to divulge this information. But when I was in Canberra, I was staying with a group of people in 2017 at 15 Kilgariff Crescent, Narrabundah, and these people were in the satanic cult. They were passing around what they call walnut sauce at the table, which is made out of pineal gland of a tortured child. It's supposed to be a psychedelic and a brain enhancing drug. Now I figured out after a while something wasn't right with these people. I didn't get so far to learning about this source, but I left. I ghosted her. I went away and did my own thing. I started being abducted. I was abducted from my bed. Now there's a couple of ways that they can do this, and I know one for sure. The one I know for sure is they hit you in the cerebral cortex with your while you're asleep with a frequency, and you lose consciousness while you're asleep. That's what the feeling of falling is. You stop breathing. Now while you're doing that, they've already got people at the door. They rush in, they put a mask on you to gas you, they wheel you out into a fake ambulance or a van or whatever they use. Well, when this was happening, I woke up one morning and I had slash marks on the inside of the arches of my feet where the veins run, and I had been bled. And this was happening quite often. I was waking up pale and just exhausted from screaming. And yes, the machinery for rewriting human memories was patented in the 60s, so this does exist. So this is what we're up against. We're up against a cult of basically cannibals. They're demonic. They're taking over every town where they've got a food source basically, and a corner to hide in. If they can't, then they'll be on the run. You don't find them in dense cities. They've got their own suburbs. It's incompatible with life on Earth. They're destroying the entire world to starve us out so that they may be able to fight us off. And on top of that, they've gotten into the minds and the pockets of most of the landholders of all the places in the country. So it's not easy to escape. If you escape, you got to trespass. The immigration's all about replacing people which come from a place where this way of life is accepted, because that's what they want. Because you know what happens if one of these Satanists stops drinking blood? Their skin turns frail and gaunt, and it starts tearing easily, because they haven't been able to maintain their body without sufficient dietary discipline and keeping their hormones in check and not abusing their body with just alcohol and just being a sus piece of shit. Like, hey, go for a run. I can run 10Ks non-stop. I don't stop. Don't see a gangstalker running. No. But they're all clued into you. They've all got their minds, hive minds, tuned in. They don't need a phone. They've got one in their brain. And they're rushing for the New World Order, where they can have 500 million slaves and a few which you could fit in a fucking room to dominate all of us and eat us like cows, because they can't handle a world where they're not in control. Every single thing that we've got is contrived. You can run a car with a few $1,000s worth of platinum. You can make a hydrogen converter that runs a V8 on a cup of water. So we don't need any of this. But yeah, I'm pretty well going to be on the run soon. I'm going to have to abandon all of my belongings and jump on a bus. Thanks for listening to this rant. See ya.